What is going on, everybody? What is going on? It's hate week, man. It is hate week. Um, Not the big panel. At least not right now. ATO will not be able to make it. Had a little family emergency to tend to. But right now I am here. With just go ahead and introduce yourself. I'm sure they all know who you are, but I put his channel link in the description. Go ahead, tell them who you are.
All right, everybody. I am 44 the Legendary. An echo. I don't know if it's on my part or
You're fine. You're fine. That's okay. Must be on my end.
So it's 44 the Legendary. I've been a YouTuber for 12 years now, over 12 years. Started as a teenager. Came on making videos about the New Orleans Saints and have stuck with it ever since. Yeah.
There's really nothing else to be said.
Yeah.
Jerry should be coming in a minute. I mean, he's always on our streams. I think we know. I don't know. Maybe Wolf comes on. ATL will, as I said, will not be able to make it. I guess I'll just go ahead and start with, and if you want to go first, that's fine. Before we get into this game or anything, what does this rivalry, what do these two teams meeting up mean to us as both Falcons fans and Saints fans, respectively? You want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Honestly, dude, I feel like this is one of the more underrated rivalries in the NFL. I think it's overlooked. I think you look around the league and you look at teams that consider themselves rivalries, and I feel like just based on our histories that we haven't had that great of histories that it's not as recognized. But realistically, we have some of the greatest games you'll see. It's I would say when the Falcons and Saints play, there's about a 75% chance that the game is going to come down to the wire. I mean, I'm not even just saying that. You can go and look at the score history for the last 20 or so years. It's literally 2 out of 3 games. It's close, and you know that the likeliness of this game coming down to the wire is good.
Yeah, man. I guess I'll obviously let's first off get with everyone in the chat. What's up, Kurto MVP 11 Augusta Gator? I see you. To me, at least for me, I think, and you can pretty much, I think, agree with me. If you're a Falcons fan and you actually know the team, you're not one of these just casuals that'll show up when they're good, hop on the bandwagon. You actually know the Falcons. You're actually a fan like that. One of the very first things you learn as far back as you can remember, we do not like the Saints and they do not like us. So for me, it's just that nature. We are meant to hate you guys and you guys are meant to hate us. That's just the reality.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems that I do find a sort of middle ground, though. And what I mean by that is that deep inside that hate, there's love. And
absolutely. Because let's look at it. We'll get into the game in a minute. Maybe some more people will join in. We'll get into the game in a minute. But overall, this is just me. It really, to me, feels like the Falcons and Saints, for years and years and years, the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons, they hated each other, but it was like, who's big brother between the two fucking retards is basically the way to put it. Because for years, we were both the laughingstock of the NFL. Go back to the 70s, 80s, and, the Saints, as they started to get good with Drew Brees, and obviously, both teams, they had their flashes before it, and the Falcons with Matt Ryan. I mean, that era was completely dominated by the Saints. Now that they're both gone, the Saints won a Super Bowl during that era. They had great memories during that era. And we had some great memories with Matt Ryan. But now that that era is gone for both teams, this new era comes in, it feels like this is the beginning of a new chapter in that rivalry. But yeah, man, I really think that that's the reality. I guess starting to get into the game here, I'll start off by this. There is going to be a lot of Saints fans in that bin Sunday. I'm calling it now. I don't know if Augusta Gator's going or not, but there's going to be a lot of Saints fans in that bins on Sunday. There is a good bit of Falcons fans when we go down to New Orleans. We'll be going down to New Orleans last week of the year, but right now, here in Atlanta, the matchup Sunday, that's what's the focus, obviously. If we can win Sunday, maybe that matchup in New Orleans, Week 18, can have more of a meaning behind it. But at the end of the day, you're going, man, all right, man, that's what's up. Maybe we can arrange something pregame where we can meet up or something, man. Because we need Falcons fans in that stadium. We do. Because the Saints fans are gonna get on the mega buses from New Orleans Friday, Saturday, and they're gonna come up here and they're gonna take over Peachtree Street, take over all of our spots. They're gonna take over the tailgates. They're gonna be in that bins on Sunday, making their presence known. That's just how you guys operate. So I guess getting into this game, man, it's just how do you feel?
I feel like I'm just not gonna put my hopes up. That's really how I feel.
You know what, man? That's honestly kind of like how I've been. And obviously it's still, I hate you guys, but at the same time, man, it's like you don't want to get your hopes up too much for this one. You really don't, because it could go either way, especially a matchup like this and how big it is. Think about how much is at stake for this one. I mean, it's not just the fact that first place in the NFC South is on the line. The lead the Atlanta Falcons have had in this rivalry, probably stretching back to the early 70s, is on the line. It's tied at 54-54. This game right here determines who has that lead.
Yeah, and I was actually about to mention that, and it would be pretty sweet to, for the first time in my lifetime of watching the Saints, because ever since I was born, the Falcons have had that lead. The Saints have not led the Falcons in the all-time series since before I was born. And I'm 25.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think you guys might have won the first few matchups back in like the 60s, but 70s, 80s, it was completely dominated by the Falcons. 90s, dominated by the Falcons. It really was not until Drew Brees came in that the Saints really got the upper hand on the Falcons.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, this would be something new for me, so it'd be pretty special if we were able to pull it off. But I think the whole situation is that both teams are not good. I mean, that's been made pretty clear. We're average at best. There are pros and cons to that. Pros,
one Falcons fan.
You could beat anybody. Even being average, you can beat anybody in the NFL. I don't care what anybody says.
Any given Sunday.
Yes, but you can also lose to anybody, and that's the downfall of it. I guess if there was anything to kind of look at and say, here's a positive, is that we're both in the middle of competing for the division. You can't ask for much more.
I mean, and look at it for both teams. I would honestly probably say, I would honestly be willing to say that both these teams are pretty much in how they play. They have played the exact same style these first 10 weeks. Inconsistent football.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the Falcons have not been able to. The Falcons have really been inconsistent for Arthur Smith's entire tenure here. But we've not, especially, I mean, after starting 2-0, it's been, I mean, and look at all the opportunities that we had, to not, literally have this game being fighting for not just that all-time record, not just first place in the division, but really our season. I'll talk about it more in a second, but that's really what this game means at this point. I mean, you look at it, versus Minnesota, we should have won, but we couldn't bring Josh Dobbs down. Versus Arizona, we should have won. Jerry, that link is right in there for you. You can jump right on in. Scroll up to the top. That link is only for Jerry right now. So you can just scroll up, get in here. But yeah, man, that's really what I think this thing chops down to is you'll be on later. All right, man. This game is just, we can't stress enough, I think, on our side of things, how big this game is, for our season.
Yeah. And, unfortunately we're going to have, and you can make an argument, who wants to watch this game anyway. There's a lot more on the line than Vikings and Bears on Monday Night Football. And it sucks that it's going to be a 12 o'clock game,
because it doesn't feel like with all the stakes there are, this should be just a 1 o'clock kickoff. This feels like at least 4:25 or Monday Night Football or something like that with how big this game is. But at the end of the day, man, that's just what it is. I mean, the used to be the Saints and Falcons will play every year on Monday night, and we ain't played on Monday night in 7-8 years.
Yeah.
We haven't had a primetime game since we played on Thanksgiving. I mean, we're not two really good teams, but nonetheless, there's a lot historically at stake for both teams. I mean,
and there's a division lead on the line.
But to me, it feels like, in any other situation, the division lead would be the big story. The big story is the dominance that we have displayed on you guys for really your entire existence and our entire existence is on the line. And it's not like all of a sudden, the Falcons, and Saints, the Saints have had the upper hand for nearly 20 years. I mean, Drew Brees came there in 2006, and obviously he's been going now a few years, but still, I mean, without Drew Brees, the Falcons won the first matchup in the post Drew Brees era versus the Saints, and they've lost, the next three up to that point.
Yeah, it's literally been all that you and I have both known. So, it's definitely a new era. New coaching. It's easy to categorize these two teams with teams in the early 70s or whatnot, and when we were both really bad. But I do anticipate that both teams are going to get up for this game.
Yeah. I think this is going to be because, I mean, let's also look at this. Ryan Nielsen is going to be a big key in this game. I'm going to say it right now. He will be a big key in this game because all the things that the Falcons have struggled with, the Taysom Hills, and we cannot stop Taysom Hill. Especially, you get him and you get him to do the power option at quarterback, straight up the gut. We cannot stop that. Ryan Nielsen saw Taysom Hill firsthand in practice for 5 years. So I would hope if there's any man that can stop Taysom Hill and figure him out for the Falcons, it's going to be Ryan Nielsen. But granted, we haven't even been able to tackle for the last few weeks. And Taysom Hill's a mobile quarterback. I mean, Taysom Hill's kind of like a joker, but he's really nonetheless, he's a mobile quarterback, and we've struggled versus that.
Yeah, I think that's going to be honestly the key on offense for us. Can we get him utilized? Can we create versatility to where he's involved. And I mean, this is where the whole trust issue with I don't know how I'm feeling about the game comes into play because I can't control that. I mean, if it were up to me, I would use him. He'd be a big part of the offense any which way you can think.
Now, let me ask you this. Is Winston playing Sunday? Because I've seen a lot that Carr's still in concussion protocol, and I saw Michael Thomas is on IR now. Which, if I'm going to keep it real. That's a big benefit for us, especially knowing how we've done versus Michael Thomas. It's not shocking. We figured he'd go on IR at some point because his ass can't stay healthy. But is Carr playing, or is it gonna be Jameis?
Right now, I read the exact same thing. Carr is still in concussion protocol, but he is. I would say if I had to put a guess, I would say yeah, he will play.
I mean, one way or another, I think you got to prepare for the possibility of both.
I mean, it's been a week.
And the bye as well. It's been nearly 2 weeks at this point.
It's 9 days, so I mean, you should be clear of concussion protocol.
Unless, I mean, there's something more to that.
Upper chest.
And I'm not just talking upper chest or any injuries. Maybe do you think there could be more with Jameis than Carr?
Dennis Allen hasn't come out and publicly said that, but then again, Dennis Allen won't come out and
No coach will come out and publicly say that. Arthur Smith isn't going to say it. If you're a coach that would come out and honestly just say straight up, yeah, you know, the guy we invested $150 million in is fucking trash, and this guy that we actually had as our starter, we benched. Turns out he's better than the guy we invested $150 million on. We already had this guy.
I mean, it's possible. It could be a dark horse. But Dennis Allen's coming out and saying, no, Derek Carr's our guy. He swears on it. So,
well, we did that and obviously Ritter is back in, but we did that with Ritter the first 8 weeks. And then all of a sudden, halftime comes around in Tennessee. We see Taylor Heineke trot out that second half.
Yeah, anything's possible Sunday. But I mean, I don't think. I think either way, it's not going to matter.
I think it actually could matter because let me ask you something. What is the style of play in Derek Carr, and what's the style of play of Jameis Winston, and how their approach is at the quarterback position, and how they're going to?
Carr's too fucking conservative, and Jameis Winston, he's going to take shots.
That's the difference.
Look at it. I mean, Jameis is going to throw interceptions, but he's going to take shots. And, I mean, it could be hit or miss. Derek Carr, I mean, he's so conservative to the point where nothing gets done. Nothing gets done.
And that is the difference. Because if you have a Taysom Hill in there, or not, well, I mean, we got to hope you can. I mean, you'll probably see Taysom Hill a little bit. Like, probably pass the ball or time or two. I think you'll honestly see that. But with that being said, I think if Jameis is in there, because to me, Chris Olave versus AJ Terrell, I'm not necessarily worried about Olave. I don't know how that sounds. I'm not worried about Olave destroying AJ. Could he? Absolutely, after just saying that. But I'm not really concerned about that. I feel like AJ will take care of Olave. I'm concerned about a Rashid Shaheed and his speed. That's a guy who concerns me. And if Jameis is in there, mark my words, he's taking deep shots to Shaheed. And if we have Richie Grant's ass on him, trying to cover Rashid Shaheed in the back end, that won't end well.
Well, you saw last year, Taysom Hill threw a touchdown to him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's really the first time I learned about Shaheed. It's like, oh shit. And then I looked and saw, oh, this motherfucker, he can play. He can play nice. He's got good speed on him. And another thing, too, I'll say, talking about that, one way or another, I feel like Juwan Johnson, if you're into prize picks or you're into the over-under on him, take the over on the yards with Juwan Johnson. Because if we have Richie Grant covering his ass, Juwan Johnson might be the one guy I'm actually concerned about. Because I saw what Trey McBride did to Richie Grant. I don't want to imagine what a guy like Juwan Johnson, who is actually an established tight end, can do to him.
Yeah, McBride had his way last week with you guys. And I mean, he's up and coming. I mean, I forgot he was even the starting tight end for Arizona. But I think it all depends on, and you can say you're scared of this player or that player or this, that, and the third. But I'm scared of my coaching. I'm scared of my coaching.
Honestly, man, that's definitely the same here, especially with the offense. But I'll let you elaborate.
You can sit there and talk about I'm scared of Shaheed. Mike Olave could beat AJ Terrell, could he? Yeah. Richie Grant, he sucks, and I'm not. I'm worried about Shaheed beating him. I'm worried about Juwan Johnson getting his. But here's the thing: you really got to keep in mind. None of that shit matters if your strategy's not there. And
that is true.
Our coaching is fucking pathetic. Pete Carmichael eats crayons for a living. He needs to be shoved in a locker. He's terrible.
God damn.
If I see him during the holidays, like if he comes into my job and gets his shops there, it's gonna take everything out of me not to fucking confront him. You four-eyed bitch. You four-eyed nerdy fucking.
I've seen that motherfucker.
Steve
Man,
Smith
he looks like he rides a short bus or something.
Steve Smith from American Dad looking motherfucker.
He looks like he rides a short bus or something, man. He really does.
Yeah, he looks thrown off. He's an idiot. He's a moron. You should hear him talk. He talks like he was in fucking Revenge of the Nerds or whatever. Yeah. It's like in one of his post-game conferences, before anybody could ask him a question, he already beat them to it. He already said, all right, what you guys got, in that voice. Already anticipating that people were going to question his fucking stupidity. That's how you know he's an idiot. Because he knows he fucked up. Because he knows he's not competent.
Well, actually, I mean, I guess he could be an idiot. God damn, I think you've bashed the Saints more than I have.
Dude, I've learned to become a pessimist. I've learned to become a pessimist with the team. Just, and it's really just watching them in the present moment and just literally like going insane, like going fucking like just getting mad as shit and pissed at myself for thinking that we were gonna play better.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I think coaching, honestly, is going to be a story here, too. Not necessarily with the defense, because I honestly feel like this defense has to get up for this game. They have to, and I feel like they will. Ryan Nielsen is going to get up for this game. What does worry me is Arthur Smith and how he approaches this thing. Now, I will say this. This is a type of game where, now you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but the New Orleans Saints have struggled versus tight ends, haven't they?
TJ Hawkinson put up 30-something fantasy points on us last week. The week before, Cole Kmet 2 touchdowns. The week before, I don't know what Indianapolis is. I don't think Indy's tight end really did anything. I can go down the line. Dalton Schultz with the Texans, he had his way. This, that, and the third. I can think back. It's hard to think back.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say this. This is going to be a game that, granted, I think Desmond Ridder should not be passing for 300 yards. Passing the ball 40 times this game. He should not. He shouldn't be told, go win us this game. That is our running game's job. That's the job of a Bijan Robinson, a Tyler Algier. Another guy I'm going to talk about in a minute that I really honestly think could be the X factor in this game. But to me, this feels like this could be a big Kyle Pitts game. Dare I say it? This could be a big Kyle Pitts or Johnny Smith game. Maybe Johnny would be the safer bet. Maybe he learns how to use Kyle. I don't know. But at the end of the day, man, I really feel like Desmond Ridder should not be told to go win this game. Now, here's one thing I'm looking for in Ridder. These final 7 games, and then this game in particular. when you are passing the football, when the ball is in your hands, do not screw it up. Please don't. Do not screw this thing up, because the turnover margin is going to be a decisive factor in this game. But do not screw it up. And that's why I honestly say, man, Ritter, I think, should be passing about, I would say, at most, maybe 30 times, depending on how the game goes. But I would probably lean more into 25 to 27 times this game Ritter should pass. I think this is a big game for the tight ends. I definitely feel like Bijan Robinson, he's got to get his. Algier, I feel like Algier could be that guy. He could be a finishing back. But CP, Cordell Patterson, I feel like could be a very key factor in this game. To me, the plan with CP was always, and I can actually respect this, the plan with CP was always, when he got injured in training camp, okay, because, see, we have depth at the running back position. We should have depth with all these weapons. We're only using them at certain times, and we don't know how the fuck we're using them, but CP should be able to, okay, take a little breather, take a back seat. And at the end of the day, hold on, what? My bad, something was wrong. Anyways, CP, the plan, he didn't play the first few games, and even when he did come back before the bye week, it was, he had his biggest game versus Tampa Bay, and that's the game Bijan really didn't get much playing time at all. And CP made some plays in that game. To me, it always felt like for this final stretch, CP was going to be a big guy. And I feel like you're definitely going to see a lot of Cordell Patterson running the ball in this game. He's fresh. We haven't been putting much on him. So I feel like he is going to be a guy that we're really going to bring in. And he could very well, because the last year, I want to say week 1, CP had a big game versus you guys.
Yeah.
I could see him having another big game like that.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, considering that he hasn't, I mean, he's been injured all year long, so, I mean, he hasn't done anything, but that would definitely be fitting. It'd also be fitting for Kyle Pitts to go off when he's literally done nothing. So, I mean, those would be the two things to happen against the Saints.
Yeah. And I really think that's what this comes down to with our offense. You can't go out and tell Desmond Ridder to win a game like this when you're built to run the football. You have to get Bijan Robinson his. You have to get Tyler Algier his. I feel like Algier could definitely be your finishing back in this game, because Algier, I've always thought, he gets stronger as the second half goes on. But, and I don't know how the Saints have done versus the run this year. How have they done?
As of lately, not good. At the beginning, they've done really well, but when you look at the Saints defense, teams have really sliced and diced us on the ground through the air in the first half. The first half was where teams made all their plays. Second half, the Saints defense has adjusted. So if y'all are going to do anything, it's probably going to be in the first half.
Well, and I don't know if maybe that should lead me into, is there anything else you really think that is key? Before we really go on.
Oh, absolutely. Desmond Ridder needs to run the football.
Who, to benefit the Saints or the Falcons?
To benefit you.
Yeah, I would agree. I think
we cannot fucking stop running quarterbacks. I mean, simple as that.
Well, we really can't either. And that's why I honestly say if the Saints are going to want to win this game, they're going to have to use a good bit of Taysom Hill, like how they did.
I know,
on that Thanksgiving night 4 years ago. They're going to have to use Taysom Hill like that if they really want to beat the Falcons. But then again, Ryan Nielsen might know how to stop Taysom Hill. The one thing is, man, we can shut down Derek Carr. If you're coming out and you're doing the conservative stuff, at the end of the day, man, I feel like we can shut that down. Jameis concerns me because Jameis is a gunslinger. And Jameis, I really do not feel good about, our, especially Richie Grant. I really don't. Jesse will lock it down, and I know it. AJ, I feel like will lock it down. D. Alford, he's been balling this year. But if he gets past D. Alford and he gets to Richie Grant, then yeah, it's over. That's a touchdown. But man, I feel like, you saying that the Falcons need to score early, I definitely feel like, a fast start will benefit us. I'll say this, man. When you're in the red zone, you cannot settle for fucking field goals. You can't. You're going to have to go for it on fourth down. And if you don't get it, so what? Send that defense out there. I definitely feel like, who knows? This could turn into an offensive battle. The one thing about this game, you do not know how it is supposed to go. You really don't. The two teams could have been heading on one trajectory all season in terms of how their games go, their style, how they play offense, defense. The Falcons Saints game can hit, and it can completely switch. This could end up being a very high scoring game, or this could be a very low scoring game. To me, I would probably say it leans more low scoring. But I definitely feel like, to me, the case is you do need to come out and establish a rhythm on offense quickly, and you need to get it going. You're going to have to play bully ball because the Saints are going to come to play up front. I think we both know that. I think we're getting Onyemata back, and we're getting the offer back. I know Onyemata, first time he's playing you guys since he left. I think he could be in store for a big game. His presence in that interior cannot be understated. Now that Grady is gone for the year, yeah, man. How do you feel about Onyemata going up against him after he was wrecking havoc for y'all for years, and now you have to go up against him?
Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely feel some kind of way if he makes some plays. I won't lie to you.
And Caden Ellis too, man. Caden Ellis too.
Yeah, it's gonna feel like.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, you need to look out for Nate Lamb, and he's also. Nate Lamb has been balling his ass out. But the thing is, man, our linebackers, they're not good in coverage. That's, they can make plays. They can lay out the big hit. They can, stop the run pretty well. But when it comes to pass defense, especially the short stuff over the middle, they just can't stop that.
Yeah, tell Pete Carmichael that, please.
I know one of your big carbs, he doesn't really use the middle of the field, does he?
No, he goes on the fucking out. He goes for the out route. Literally, it's sickening.
How does he try to go deep at least, or is he just trying to little screen pass?
It seems like 50% of the time he's trying to throw it right to Kamara. Like, just throw it to the right. Like, as soon as he snaps the ball, fucking screen pass. It's atrocious.
No,
but who knows? Maybe since we're playing you guys will make Pete Carmichael look like a genius.
Who knows? That's the reality of this. Let's be completely honest. We do not know how this game is going to turn out because past history has shown us when it's the Falcons and it's the Saints, anything can happen. That's why we hate each other. But we also understand that this is the biggest two games every year for the Falcons, and this is the biggest two games every year for the Saints. The very first thing Falcons fans are looking at when that schedule comes out in April, May, okay, when are we playing the Saints? I'll probably guarantee you one of the very first things Saints fans are thinking of when that schedule comes out. When are we playing the Falcons?
Absolutely.
Because that is it. That is the link is at the top, Jerry. Hold on, let me go ahead and do this real quick. Am I still there? Hold on. All right, do I sound fine now?
Yeah, you're good.
All right, hold on just a second. All right, am I good now? I should be good now.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, so with that being said, man, it really, to me, it feels like this is that's the big reality of this game. Anything can happen. You could definitely see, people you don't even really know about that much making plays. I mean, I would honestly probably say, man, Taysom Hill, the first time a lot of people really found out about Taysom Hill like that on a national stage was when he obliterated the Falcons on Thanksgiving night.
I wouldn't say that.
You wouldn't?
Well, I mean, I guess as a Saints fan, I've known him more.
But that's when a lot of people found out about, okay, this is who Taysom Hill really is. He's not just a quarterback. He can kill you in whatever aspect of the game possible.
Yeah, and then that just kind of leaned into the next year whenever he played quarterback against a few teams.
And he swept us. That's why I say, man, if the Saints are going to win this game, and I hope they don't do this, I really hope y'all do the same exact dumb shit that y'all have been doing all year, and Pete Carmichael stays the exact way he is. I hope y'all keep him through the end of the year. And after that, you can do. As a matter of fact, I hope y'all just keep him permanently, because it would be amazing. But I'll go ahead and say this, man. If y'all are going to win, it has to be a big dosage, I think, for you guys of Taysom Hill. If we're going to win, yes, we do need to get rid of on the RPO. But I also think, man, we're going to have to utilize the tight ends, utilize a Cordero Patterson. To me, this feels like a game that's going to turn into bully ball.
Yeah, I can definitely believe that.
And it's going to be who is the more physical team, who makes more plays.
And I mean, that tone could be set early.
Yeah, man. Jerry, are you back there or not? I don't know if you're back there or not.
I did want to discuss another topic.
Go ahead, because my thing is just acting up, man.
Just the significance of this game and what it would mean to each team if each team lost.
If each team lost?
Yeah, like if you guys lost, what it would mean to you guys. If we lost, what it would mean to us.
I'll go ahead and I'll let you start.
I'll kind of go ahead and go two ways with this. I'll say what I think it would mean to us if we lost and what it would mean to you guys if you guys lost. If we lost, personally, obviously, like I said, we'd be in a situation where, okay, we're still controlling our own destiny mathematically. I mean, if we, hypothetically speaking, won the rest of our game.
You don't see the link in the chat. It should, Jerry, you should be able to scroll up and see the link. If not, then I'm going to go ahead and it should be there. It's right there, Jerry.
But yeah, if we won the rest of our games for the most part, even if we did lose to you Sunday, we're winning the division. There's no question about it. But obviously, we're not going to win the rest of our games. If you guys lose this ball game,
I'll talk about that. And then I'll let you piggyback. So if we lose this game, then yeah, our season is fucking over. Because if we lose and we go to 4-7, then even though, yes, now the one thing everyone might look at, it's not the toughest schedule remaining. It's the Jets with Tim Boyle. Guess what? The Jets have a great defense. That's being wasted. Then, you come home versus Tampa Bay. Okay, that's a whatever game. You go to Carolina. Okay, that's a whatever game. Jerry, just... You got it. All right, man. All right, man. Just come on right in. I don't know why I was doing all that. All right, man. All right, what's going on? Jerry Port, introduce yourself. I'm gonna give you we're gonna kind of do a little run through here, so we're starting all over. Not really, man. Jerry, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
All right, Razo. First of all, thank you for having me on here. Noah, good to see you, my brother. Yes, this is Jerry G, and I am from Gulfport, Mississippi, and I am a diehard Saints fan. Um, if you don't know me, you get to know me better. I am a diehard Saints fan. So if you want to subscribe to my channel, it is Jerry G on YouTube. And I'm not hard to find. So just type in Jerry G. You'll see a Saints logo on the side, and that's me.
He's
So
not hard to find, people. He's not hard to find.
I will say
no,
this though, Jerry, my brother. Typing in Jerry G, that could be very common.
I did that, and yeah, you're not so easy to find.
So
man.
just type Saints at the end of it. Just put Jerry G and Saints.
yeah, kind of like I did with Rise Up ATL and say Falcons on the side.
Exactly. Like
That's
Brandon
easy.
Rogers.
That's easy to remember.
Brandon Rogers Seahawks. You know, like they got so many
Yeah.
Brandon Rogers in the world. They probably got hella Jerry G's.
Yeah. But just like Rise Up ATL and 44 say, just type in Jerry G and then say Saints at the end. Go and you know what to do. But I'm here now. so
Yeah. So, man, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you because me and Noah already went over it. Before
Mhm.
we actually talk about this thing, what does this rivalry mean to you? Because you're an old school Saints fan, right? You were there before Drew Brees. Were you there before
Mhm.
Aaron Brooks?
Yeah, I was there before. I was in high school when Aaron Brooks was
How long have you
quarterback
been a Saints fan?
since August of 1996.
So explain to me what what this Falcon Saints rivalry means to you as a Saints fan.
Well, Razzle BTL, like I said, I know this rivalry goes back to the late '60s because we know that Saints was like born like established in 1967, and I think the Falcons are established in that same year.
We were
If I'm right
established
or
the year
wrong.
before you guys. We were established the year before you guys.
So y'all was 1966.
That was yes.
Okay, I got you. But this rivalry goes way back. You see, I didn't know anything about it until like in the '90s. Because all different Saints fans, all different Falcon fans talk about
You know what?
how
And
hated
I think
how hated this rivalry is, and I get the passion of it.
I think this would kind of be a good question to ask you. I don't know if maybe I'll ask you a little later, but I'll ask you now. How was it you've grown up in Gulfport all your life, correct?
Born and raised, yes, sir.
All right, man. Shout out to the Gulf Coast, even though fuck the Aints. I know the Aints are very big down in the
On the
Gulf
Falcons.
Coast. The Gulf Coast, it's a great place, man. But let me ask you something. How was it really being a Saints fan before even Aaron Brooks, before Katrina, before Drew Brees, before Sean Payton? How was it being a Saints fan really during the shitty times?
Oh, now I wasn't born around that area, and Noah can relate to this because the Saints weren't winning a damn thing back then. Man. You had to wear paper bags and stuff. We couldn't even do shit back then until finally, like in the early '70s, they finally won a game, and then like later on in the '80s, they finally got to the playoffs, and with Bobby being his quarterback. I
Bobby
mean,
Aver is
I,
also a former Falcon.
yeah, I remember that. And I think your boy Morton Anderson too.
Morton. Yeah.
Yeah. So these different players that play for the Saints play for the Falcons, and the different Falcon players play for the Saints. I mean, I'm like, it's it's. I mean, it's like crazy, you know?
Yeah. So I guess I'll just ask you, as far as, because you know everything that's at stake. It's not just first place in the division. It's not
Hmm.
just, oh, it's another Falcons Saints game. The all-time record that the Falcons
Hmm.
have held really since the beginning of this thing is on the line.
Yep.
It's on the line. So obviously, I'm sure for Saints fans, and this is why we have to prevent it. If they win that all-time record, it's going to be unbearable. It really will be. It'll be unbearable. Leaving the bins, it'll be unbearable for the next
Yeah.
7 weeks until maybe we get a. We have to take back this all-time record. We have to do it. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. We have to do that, which is why I really say, man, that's another reason why this game is so big. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of Saints fans that come through the bins on Sunday.
Oh
So
yeah, most definitely, because you pretty much got the biggest post. I know you got all your Falcon fans over there in Atlanta. I respect that, but sometimes you got all them Saint fans over there in Georgia too, because some might go to different colleges and stuff
they
like
might have
that.
been
But they,
displaced after Katrina. They might just move around.
yeah,
And it's not just that, man. It's, you have all those Saints fans that get on mega buses from New Orleans and nearby
mhm,
areas that are going to come up Friday, Saturday, and they're going to take over Peachtree. They're going to take over all the bars, all the hotels, all the tailgates. They'll be in the bins with the who dat bullshit. Uh,
yeah.
so yeah, man,
Same
that's
way. Yeah, same way with like when Falcon fans come over to New Orleans and they always talk about rise up. I'm like,
that's another point
okay.
I was making earlier, man. Not a lot of people realize Falcons fans, they do invade New Orleans. They do.
Yeah, 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 I agree on that.
And
I definitely agree on that.
I didn't say this earlier, there is no better feeling than beating the Saints. Other than if the Falcons were to ever win a Super Bowl, there's honestly no better feeling than beating the Saints. And there's no worser feeling than losing to the Saints.
Hmm. Now,
So
I'll tell you this because I think because you and I think we talked about it before. Rise up ATL. I mean, as much as I do not like your team, I still respect y'all because your Falcons always give the Saints a hard time, just like my Saints give your Falcons a hard time, and that's what this rivalry is so important. I mean, no disrespect to the Steelers and the Ravens and the Chiefs and the Broncos, the Cowboys and the Eagles. I get that. That's a hated rival. But when you talk about a deep down hated rival, I predict New
there's
Orleans
and
and Atlanta right there.
deep inside that
Yes.
hate is some good old black-hearted love.
Hmm.
That's what is deep down inside all of that hate, is a
Absolutely.
black
That's just
heart
Southern.
full of love.
That's right.
Because, so let me ask you, man, what do you think is the biggest story for the Saints heading into this game?
Say it again.
What's the biggest story for the Saints heading into this game?
Well, to me, the biggest story is, both of us coming out of a bye week, and we'll see what the Saints gonna do and see what your Falcons gonna do because both of them will come up a bye week. Hopefully they'll be fresh and ready to go because we got these 7 games to go.
Yeah.
I'm telling you is, I mean this ain't this. I mean these 7 games ain't gonna be no cakewalk, and it starts with y'all.
That's the same way here, man. It's not. You look at both these teams' schedule, these final 7 games,
Mhm.
and you say, "Oh, well, outside of each other, it's pretty easy." You can't say that with either team.
No,
No game
no,
is an easy game.
no, not at all.
So, but how do you honestly, man? How do you feel about who do you think is a key player in this game that should be looked out for? We talked about Taysom Hill, Rashid Shaheed. What do you think is the main key in this game to how this game goes down?
Well, I guess I already know about the Michael Thomas being on IR, so somebody got to step up to the plate. So you talk about Taysom Hill, you talk about Rashid Shaheed, we talk about Alvin Kamara and all that stuff. But you gotta look at these background players, like number 17, A.T. Perry out of Wake Forest. When he caught that touchdown against Minnesota about a week ago. So that to me, I think A.T. Perry, number 17, might be one of the key players in this game coming up Sunday.
Yeah,
To
I
me.
could I could definitely think as I said, the Falcons Saints has really been when for both sides. New stores are made for both teams out of these games. You really learn about these guys when they're going hard, man. I want to get your thoughts, in all honesty, about how do you feel about going up against Ryan Nielsen, Anya Mata, and Kane Ellis? And really, Ryan Nielsen knows you guys in and out. He's
He used to be with us.
in practice against that offense every day for 5 years. He probably
Yep.
knows that offense very well.
Yeah, you know that like the back of his head, bruh. You
So,
can't you can't forget where your roots come from, bruh.
It shouldn't
yeah.
be much harder to figure out, keeping in consideration that fucking Pete Carmichael is the guy calling the plays.
Now, granted, I will say the Saints, they do run still basically a very similar defense when Nielsen was there, right? I mean, it's built the same way, basically same players. It's built from up front. That's really how it's built.
Right.
So, to me, Noah talks about it, and I think if either team, wants to get their offense going, you're gonna kind of have to do it early. But to me,
Mhm.
this could definitely turn into a dogfight very quickly. This could
Oh
be
yeah.
a very nasty ball game, defensive ball game, and odds are probably this is where that thing is heading. I think that I'll tell you, Jerry, look out for CP because I really think in this final stretch, CP is going to be a very key factor. We rested him a
CP.
lot early on in the year, but now as he comes out this bye, he's really probably as healthy as he's been. You're going to see a good dose of Cordell Patterson.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I know about that guy because he used to play for Minnesota. I know about Patterson.
And he had a big game versus you guys last year. And obviously,
He
Bijan is
did.
going to get his. Tyler Algier is going to get his. But to me, man, CP is going to be the big story. I think he's going to be a guy no one really is looking at in this game. This is a
Mhm.
type of game where he goes off.
All right. Well, I don't know about the condition of Marshawn Lattimore, but I think that other guy gonna step up if he don't go on Sunday. Isaac
Got him.
Yadam, yeah, number 27. I
Let
think
me
he's
go ahead and
going.
ask y'all, man. Obviously, you guys want to keep going, that's perfectly fine. We have plenty of time left.
I'm actually about to have to log off because I got to do a paper, dude.
Okay,
Okay.
well, let me ask you something, man. Let me ask you something.
For sure.
Sunday night, obviously we didn't have as loaded of a panel. Sunday night, I always like to do, my recap of each game. Would you guys mind coming back on Sunday night?
I can
That's
try.
what.
Like I said, man, like dude, it's
Yeah, I'll be
That is
there.
all
tail end of the
good because,
semester.
man, ATO Will wasn't able to make it tonight due to a family emergency, but he really
Okay.
he wanted to come on, he just couldn't.
I
I just
understand, bro.
yeah, man. No, it's all good. I told him, man, it's all good. So he really wanted to
Yeah.
come on. So I want to, do it Sunday night, and obviously I always open the panel up. Maybe just make it like Noah, you can try to come on. Maybe I'll try to get Wolf on. At this rate, I don't think he'll be
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
on the
Because
show.
I enjoyed that guy that you had on there, Wolf.
That Wolf, yeah, I don't think he was
That
able to
dude,
make it
I think I've
tonight.
seen him before. I think I've seen it before.
Wolf, yeah, man. Wolf is a great content creator, man.
Oh yeah, man.
He wasn't able to make it on
Yeah.
tonight, I guess. I mean, I really haven't heard anything from him, but one way or another, man, yeah. Jerry, I'm sure you'll be on Sunday night. We can talk all about it, all about how this game goes.
Absolutely.
Because I'm telling you, as much as we're talking about anything that can happen in this game right now, it's going to be a lot more authentic when we know how this game turns out. But Noah, are you getting ready to leave, man?
Yeah, man. I got.
Let me go ahead. First of all, drop your score prediction. How do you think this game goes? Who's winning?
Oh boy.
Here you go.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say. Put me on the spot here, man. I'm such a pessimist.
Hey, no, before you do that, I did see your comment on that Matt Moscona on the Morning Scone earlier this morning about the firing of Matt Canada. I don't know why we didn't do the same thing with Pete Carmichael.
Because the Saints are freaking retarded. That's why.
And they don't have enough balls enough to get to do what
I'll
they
say
got.
this, man. If we were living in a perfect world, Arthur Smith probably would have been fired over this bye week, but Arthur Blank is too damn nice. Now, if we lose this Sunday, yeah, Arthur Smith should be fired. However, will he be? No. He's going to get it. But, man, Noah, what is your final score prediction? How do you think this game turns out?
Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and say 23-19 Falcons.
Oh!
God damn, no.
I was fully expecting you. Wow, man. So you're not trying to pull some reverse psychology shit, are you?
Yeah. No, I always do that, bro.
He's trying to do some bullshit.
I think
he's trying to flip the script.
Nah, I definitely. I'm gonna.
I know what you mean, Noah.
It seems like when I doubt the Saints, they play better. So I'm just gonna fucking doubt them.
I will say, man, we're due to win in the bins, man. We're due to win in the bins. We have to. We have to. We ain't beat y'all in the bins since the year it opened.
Yeah, y'all would definitely do, which kind of makes me feel like, yeah, it's time.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Noah, I'm not going to hold you any longer. You have to go. If I see you, obviously we'll communicate. Sunday night, if you're able to make it on, great. If not, it's all good. You already
I likely
know, man.
will.
All right. Okay, man. So you're free to go now. You're dismissed.
All right, man. Y'all take it easy, man.
Like we're back in school or something. All right, Noah, it's easy, brother. Happy Thanksgiving to you, homie.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, man. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir. All right, guys.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right. It's just me and you now, Jerry. Let's get, because I was able to talk about it with Noah. I want to talk about it more with you, man. How do you really, I mean, if the Saints lose this game, what do you think, is the big story if you guys lose this game?
Well, my big story, if we do lose this game, and I hope we don't, but maybe it might happen, I want to see just like you are with your firing Arthur Smith as your coach, I want to see New Orleans fire Dennis Allen and Pete Carmichael.
God damn! So you're saying just clean house?
I'm trying to do because the reason why Rise Up BTL, because you listen to these different press conferences like every week, and everything is the same old shit
it's
every week.
It's always the press conference. It's always the press conference.
You always hear, we gotta do better. We gotta just keep doing what you do. I mean, I've heard it like 1,000 times. So why don't you just do it and just shut up and do it?
Man, listen, I have been of the belief that instead of those motherfuckers that get paid, we need to be asking them questions. That's honestly it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm talking about the real questions, not the same old. What's the strategy for the next game?
Those press conferences, you should be able to actually get real fans in those buildings asking the coaches questions.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I really think that's now, if the Saints win, what's the story? It better not happen. I don't think it will. But what's the story if the Saints win?
Well, the story to me, if the Saints do win, I don't know if they good at doing high headlines and stuff on newspapers and articles and stuff like that. But if the Saints were to win this coming Sunday against y'all, my article would be Saints beat Falcons in Atlanta to stay in first place. I'm just gonna keep it simple that way.
So this is about staying in first.
Yes.
I think honestly, man,
Yeah.
if we win, I wasn't really able to explain this with Noah. If we win this game, to me, honestly, we beat the Saints. It's a great step forward. However, it does not stop after that. It's not just like, oh, we won because we still got one more meeting at the end of the season regardless. And we don't know what stakes that's going to have yet. But one way or another, at the end of the day, it's still the Jets have a good defense. A lot of people, they have they have a good defense.
Yes, they do.
Tampa Bay and Carolina, those are division games. Anything can happen. Indianapolis, they're no pushover. Chicago in the snow on New Year's Eve, most likely you'll be in the elements. That's going to be a tough game. And then we go down to the Dome, final week of the year. So even we have to win to stay in it, in my opinion. Y'all can definitely afford a loss way more than we can.
Yeah, true. And and I asked this question, with my Who Dat Nation, and I'm sure you did with your Falcon fans as well. I mean, my overall record at the end, hopefully it would be either between 11-6 or 10-7 the way the schedule is going.
Well, I'm gonna go. We'll talk about overall record, but I'll let you
Yeah.
continue.
Yeah, think about it because we got y'all this Sunday. We got Detroit coming up. That's going to be a tough battle. We got Carolina. That should be a win. We got the Giants. That should be a win.
As I say, division games, anything can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen because the last time we faced Carolina, we beat them at their house. So, so like you say, anything can happen. Any given Sunday, as my dad would say, any given Sunday.
Yeah. But this really, to me, man, you're talking about you hope that whoever wins, but your Saints can get 10, 11 wins. I hope it doesn't happen first off because y'all are the Aints and fuck y'all. But at the end of the day, man, I'm looking at this thing. The winner of the South is not winning more than 9. I mean, granted, with the schedule, maybe 10 wins. But realistically, man, the winner of the NFC South is not winning any more than 9 games. I think if you're looking at it in all likelihood.
Yeah, because pretty much that's what they had. That's what Vegas really had is like 9 games or something like that. But if the Saints or Falcons play their best football, like let's say if it happened like in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Let's say after we face y'all, I'd say the Saints would be like maybe 7-5, maybe 6-6, depending on how things go. And like you said, the impossible could happen.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, to me, it just really feels like, this division in all likelihood, definitely it could and honestly probably should come down to the final week of the year. But to me, I think if you're being completely honest for the Falcons, this is staying alive so that you have an opportunity to win this division later on in the year. That's the big story.
Yeah. Now think about this, Roger BTL. Now, let's say if y'all beat us and we beat y'all at home at the end, that's like we're like neck and neck right there. And what would happen if the Saints were to win the division and y'all got a wild card spot in the playoffs?
So you're talking about 2 teams in the NFC South in the playoffs.
Yeah, because think
I
about
don't
it.
think it happens because neither of us have a tiebreaker over Minnesota.
No, we don't. Yeah, because and the reason why I asked that because I mean, if New Orleans and Carolina meet three times, why not New Orleans and Atlanta meet three
I
times?
well, listen, it's happened
Hey,
once. We've met in the
yeah,
playoffs once,
we
and I
did.
don't know if you know what happened, but
Ooh, yeah.
I stepping all over that Superdome.
Oh my God. Woo,
So, yeah, man, listen,
man.
I really honestly think, you're talking about that, man. Whoever wins this division, is going to be the only team in the playoffs from this division. They'll be the 4 seed, and all likelihood, they'll be hosting Dallas for a wild card game. But granted, you know, to me, this Sunday for the Falcons, it needs to be about just staying alive, just winning a game. And then after that, you can then focus on, okay, how many wins do we need? But honestly, whether this division comes down to week 18 or not, in my honest opinion, the Falcons need to focus on winning every one of their games first. And then, okay,
Right.
if you get in a position where, yeah, week 18 can mean a lot, okay. If not, but you have to win all these games. You have to.
Yep.
The bye week could not have come at a more perfect time for the Falcons in
Yep. And
general.
the same
Because,
and same way with the Saints, bro. Because both of us
man,
needed that rest, bro. So we could be
it's
ready for
not that
Sunday, man.
we needed. I mean, we needed the rest, but also, man, you got to turn the ship around, and this is pretty much a point where is the season going to continue to swim or is it going to sink Sunday for the Falcons? And it cannot sink because there is so much the Falcons did this offseason to come and improve this team, to bring in all those guys on defense, to draft Bijan Robinson, and for it to end in a third straight 7-18 season. Yeah, someone needs to get fucking fired.
You're the only one.
I mean, now. How do you feel, man, about who would you rather see start, Carr or Jameis?
Well, they saying that Carr's still on concussion protocol, so it's likely going to be Jameis. If Derek Carr doesn't go like in the next few days before game time, you might be looking at Jameis Winston starting on Sunday, bro. Because he's not in the concussion protocol, so start Winston and just
Yeah,
let Derek Carr just sit down and just rest for a minute and give him time to heal up from that concussion protocol. And it shouldn't. And you know what? Wait a minute. Let me stop right there. They should have did that last week during the bye week, and you're coming off the bye week, and here's a concussion protocol now. Dude, you had all of the bye week to do that. Why wait till now?
yeah,
Come on, bruh.
yeah. I mean that's I think the big thing is in that situation. So, man, I mean, where is there really to go from? Is there anything else you want to talk about in terms of this game? What maybe any significance? We can talk just more about the Saints and Falcons in general because, man, this isn't just people need to understand how big this rivalry is, in my opinion, and how much it
Yes.
means.
And let me say this. And like I say, these two teams hate each other's guts. But at the end of the day, it's all respect, man. It's all respect. Yes, Falcon fans gonna talk about Saints fans. Saints fans gonna talk about Falcon fans. But at the end of the day, it's all love, man. And that's why the game of football is so important when it comes to these two teams right here. No
Yeah,
disrespect to the other 30 teams out there, but this rivalry right here, I mean, this takes the moment.
and then you're talking about like there is, as I've said it all stream, there is so much at stake.
It is, and no strings attached too, bruh. Anything can happen.
Yeah. So, man, listen. Is there anything else you really want to talk about?
No, none. I think pretty much you and Noah and myself said all what had to be
We've
said, bro.
covered it.
Yeah.
I'll ask you this. I don't think I really went into this for you. How do you think, man? I was gonna say this with Noah here. I wish I could have. What do you think is one very key element in this game that is gonna go a long way towards determining this?
You were saying what's the outcome of this? You mean?
What is a very key element for both sides that determines how this game goes?
Well, the key element is Rise Up ATL that one might outdo the other, but because that Saint defense been playing well, and despite different injuries and stuff, they always have somebody step up to the plate. Because and the reason why, because the defense been carrying the load, because the offense couldn't do a whole lot. So pretty much the defense just like took over the whole game or something like that. Like they need to play out the whole damn game.
Yeah.
So I mean that's pretty much because
I will say this. Here is one very key element that I think a lot of people need to realize. Whoever wins the fourth quarter is going to be who wins this game.
mm-hmm.
Whoever wins the fourth quarter, it doesn't matter. And listen, you have to come and play all four quarters. There is not
You have to.
any debate about it. You cannot let the Saints get out in front early. You can't. The Falcons, the Saints really can't let the Falcons get in front early to a major extent. And I don't think they will. I very well think this could be I could see this being like a 10-10 game heading into the fourth quarter. I really could. 17-10, something like that. This is going to be a game that whoever wins the fourth quarter, whoever holds the ball the longest, whoever makes the more plays with their defense, and I don't necessarily want to say who gets the ball last, but who makes the more plays overall in that fourth quarter is going to be who wins.
Yeah.
So is there anything else to really talk about?
Well, I don't have a lot more to say. I know Noah gave his score prediction, so I guess I'll give you mine. And I'm not gonna do no reverse psychology like he did. Shout out to my boy, I'm going, man.
He's trying to pull some reverse psychology shit.
I don't know.
That motherfucker's trying to do some reverse psychology.
Yeah, I know. That's my dude, man. I love man. Yeah, but he keep it real. But sometimes. But anyway, my score prediction to this game, Rise Up Big Tail, I'm going to keep it close, and I'm going to say New Orleans. Let's say 24, Atlanta 21.
So you think it's a field goal game?
I think it's going to come down to a field goal game. Either Groupie make the game win a field goal, or your boy Cool gonna make the game win a field goal. It's just gonna come down to.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this. You kind of read my mind there. I'm gonna go ahead and say that I think this is going to be a close ball game throughout. Now, I could definitely maybe see, second quarter, maybe the Falcons are up, a little bit, Saints, but ultimately, I think this game is going to enter the fourth quarter a very close game. Touchdown game at most. What you're going to see is, and as I said, who wins that fourth quarter is going to be who wins. I think what it's going to come down to is the Falcons are going to have to play their style of football. They're going to have to be able to run the football. They're going to have to get the ball to the tight ends. I think the tight ends come into play early, and you're going to end off with a Tyler Algier, Bijan making plays, CP. I think CP. I think CP is going to do a lot of damage because we're going to just sprinkle him in throughout. You're going to see him make a lot of plays just throughout the game. But I think it's really going to come to a point where you're going to have to, in the end of that game, in the fourth quarter, you're going to have to rely on your running game to get you downfield and get you those yards. I'm going to say, man, I think the Falcons win 20-17. Younghoe Koo, field goal, I think is the difference. Could very well be a walk-off. I think it probably could be a walk-off. So, yeah, man, that's really, I think, the situation we're in. It's going to be a close game. There's no denying that. It's not going to be.
No.
I mean,
No, it don't be like no blowouts right here, bro.
The last time I checked, I think you guys were favored by 1, so it's a pick'em game, basically, with Vegas. So I think the big reality here is it can go either way, but the Falcons have to win this game, and I think they will. I think we're going to make the plays. I need Ritter to look nice. I don't need him to go and throw for 300 yards, 3 or 4 touchdowns. I just need him to look nice when the ball is in his hands. I need him to look nice, right?
In other words, you just want to see him have a decent game as starting quarterback.
Yeah,
you just
man.
want to see him have a decent game.
I need to see him. Here's one thing: doesn't the Saints defense lead the NFL in turnovers?
They do.
Please.
I think
that's why I honestly say you cannot put this game in his hands. You can't. You're going to have to, at the end of the day, get Desmond Ritter comfortable. You thought that was the 9 round. Oh, you're talking about no, man. I saw somewhere the Saints. Their defense leads the NFL in turnovers. So you're going to have to get that running game going. And you got to hold on to the ball, Bijan. You got to hold on to the ball, Algier. CP, hold on to the ball. Yeah. And Ritter, do not make the stupid throws. Do not stare receivers down. Examine all your options. But just, if it's there, take it. If you have Bijan on the little 5-yard screen. If you have Kyle Pitts, Jonnu on the little hitch route, just take it. You have Drake on the hitch route, take it. Don't try to do anything special. Don't try to make Ritter look like a superstar Arthur Smith. Because for the love of God, you better not lose this game. If we lose this game, especially because of you, even though, yeah, we probably know your ass isn't getting out, your ass should get out.
I'll take your word for that, man. But one other thing I want to share with you, there's one guy that you really got to pay attention to, and even though he played defense, but he played good, especially in the red zone on offense.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I know the big boy, 99.
Yes, sir, Mr. Kaden Saunders, bruh.
That dude, right? Him in that fullback.
Bruh.
Him in. He's dominating. I see, man. Y'all are trying to create something with him.
Hey, bro. Sometimes we gotta mix it up, bro. You gotta mix it up.
I like him, man. My thing is, a lot of people are like, just run the basic shit. Man, I like mixing it up from time to time. But my thing is, when Arthur Smith does it, it's like the fucking stupidest shit and the sorriest execution. If you're gonna mix it up, you have to have good execution.
Right. That is true. But yeah, man, that dude, I really like what I saw in this guy. Not only the dude could play defense, but he played fullback, especially when you're in the red zone about to make a touchdown. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
Have y'all given him any carries at fullback?
I don't know. I don't know if it's either 1 or 2, if I'm mistaken. But he was in that formation. Dude was in that formation.
I've seen him in the formation.
I think he has.
I've definitely seen him in the formation. I know you guys like to use him in that goal line package. So yeah, man, that's another element. He's a dominant force on defense. Who do you honestly think is a guy for the Saints that could go off in this game?
Man. But if I'm going offense, gotta go with my boy. Gotta go with my boy Olave. On offense, I gotta go with Olave. But on
I think
defense,
AJ's taking care of Olave.
oh, bro. Now, if Thomas wasn't oh, bro.
Yeah,
You
that's
you
what
are
I'm saying, man.
you
Honestly,
you
Michael
you
Thomas,
know
he
if
been
if
sitting
if, if
West
Michael
Side Rick
Thomas,
Gang all day on IR, man. He been
yes,
doing that shit for the next
oh
4 weeks.
oh
But
my good, hey,
he has had good history versus the Falcons. That's why, like, yeah, I'm glad that motherfucker's on IR.
because
I
I
don't wish for
know.
him to be injured, but just for our benefit, yeah, let that motherfucker rot on IR.
Yeah,
Just so we
now
know.
if it, now Tom, like I say, if Thomas wasn't on which he is right now, oh, bro, him and your boy AJ Terrell, man,
I think, but isn't Olave your number one?
you might as well be no more. I mean, they just they brought back Callaway. I guess this now that Thomas is on.
See, so
He,
I'm
I mean,
saying, man,
yeah,
Olave's y'all's number one. I'm not worried. I think AJ is gonna lock down Olave. Olave will have his nice 3 or 4 catches, but he's gonna lock him down. But who?
that
So you think
that's gonna be the
Olave?
showdown right there.
But you beg to defer. You think Olave's going off?
I think Olave gonna have a big game. I mean, I'm not looking at like maybe 10 catches, maybe like 100 and some odd yards. I'm, like you said about your boy Rittler. I think he's gonna have a decent game against that Falcon defense, bro. I think he will.
So you think that, and who do you think on defense is a guy we have to look out for?
On defense, I'll be looking out for that cornerback that's likely gonna take the place of Lattimore, Isaac Yadam,
Oh,
number
so Lattimore
27.
ain't playing.
That depends on his health because I don't know if I will find out more about that later this
Wait, but
week.
what
But
about Paulson Adebo, man? Well, the
him,
man,
that's the guy. That's the guy you got to look out for
better
because
not throw to that
that
motherfucker.
man, Paul the Debo been eating up out there, bro. I'm talking about turnover after turnover, bro. Debo ain't no joke.
Oh, that's why, man. Listen, you got to get.
That
Is he
motherfucker
a
ain't no
slot
joke, bro.
corner or is he just?
He's just a corner. I don't
Oh,
know. Yeah, he's just a corner.
I think you'll probably put Adebo on Drake London. I don't
Mhm.
see Drake London having the biggest game, and Drake's my guy. The Ritter London connection, I will say, is something that is there. So maybe Drake gets his, but I think this is a big game for the tight ends. But you say the guy who's probably going to take Lattimore's place on defense. What's his name? One more time.
Isaac Yadam.
Isaac Yadam. All right, I'll
Isaac
be looking
Yadam,
out
number
for them.
27.
I'll go ahead and say I think for offense, I pretty much made it clear. I think it's going to be Kyle Pitts and CP. Kyle Pitts and Cordell Patterson.
Mhm.
Those are your two guys that, especially CP, I'm looking out to see.
I already
Defense,
know about Patterson, bro. I already know about Patterson. Like I said,
on defense, man, this is Richie Grant. You better not fuck this thing up, bro. You're already basically skating on no ice, and your ass is getting ready to fall to the bottom with the Titanic. But
oh man,
man,
you
so
just
you
throw a rough on the
better
brother,
not do
man.
some bullshit here. I'll say this. I told Noah this. I think Jawan Johnson, if you have him on Prize Picks, start him in fantasy, take the over on the yards with Jawan Johnson. I'm telling you.
Hey,
I
like
think
I
Jawan
said,
Johnson will have a big game because we don't have many good coverage linebackers.
yeah. I mean, like I told you or know it, y'all into that fantasy football stuff. Y'all welcome to it. Me, I'm I
Do
watch
you
the
do
game.
Prize Picks or anything?
No, I don't do price picks. I don't. I don't do all that fantasy stuff. I just watch the game from start, well, a kickoff until the fourth quarter where it says 0-0, even if it go to overtime. That's it, bro. That's me.
That's it,
I'm just
man.
old
That
school.
is it.
I'm old school, bro. I mean, from start to finish, That's it.
Yeah. I guess as far as defense goes, man, this is so kind of tough. I could easily go with Onyemata. I could go with Caden Ellis. I'm gonna go ahead and say that I think Jesse could have a big game. I think Jesse Bates could have a big game. So that's the guy I think can definitely go off on defense, along with Onyemata and Ellis, the former Reigns. They came over to the good side. The dark side, however you're looking at it, I'm not going to shy away from it, man. Maybe they came over to the dark side, but maybe it's the good side.
Hey, bro, you never know. You just never know.
Yeah. So yeah, man, that's really, I mean, the way to break it down. I think we've pretty much covered everything that there is to cover about this game. The rivalry, man, listen, it's a big rivalry. We all know it. We hate each other, but man, I will always say this. There is deep down in all that hate, there is a black heart full of love between these two teams.
Yep. And like I always tell you all the time, your Falcons fans always give us a tough time, just like the Saints fans give y'all a hard time.
Yeah, man, y'all are gonna come in, man. Friday, Saturday.
Coming in full force, homie.
Y'all are gonna
hey, let's go.
You'll have all the bitches in Magic City dancing to fucking Saints fans. And bitches,
yeah.
You'll know who the fucking hoes are or not.
Yes, indeed, bro. You already know. It's go time, bro. It's go time. And there's no other way.
It's go time. Listen, man, they're going back to practice tomorrow. I might do a little something Friday night, Saturday. Most likely not, but I might do a little something. I will say, I don't know if I'm doing an actual preview video this week. I might just honestly go ahead and just say, this is the preview, because we've pretty much covered it, man. We've done it. Shout out
everything.
Yeah, man. I mean, and this rivalry is big. We've talked about it. We cannot talk about enough how big this rivalry is. We can't. The Saints will always
establish.
I have said this, we can, and I'm sure, you can agree with it as well, man. The Panthers, yeah, there's a little something with Carolina just because of the I-85 connection, but there are bitches. That's really just a bitch we get to go smack at least once a year, most likely twice. Tampa Bay, yeah, Tampa Bay has just always felt like a division opponent, even with Tom Brady, man. Yeah, they have Brady, but they're a division opponent, and they're nothing more than that. The Falcons are the Saints' rival, and the Saints are the Falcons' rival. That game, that is not no division game. That is a game that is a rivalry game.
Yes, it is.
And we talk about anything can happen in division games. Anything is fucking possible in a rivalry game.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Anything. So
anything.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know how you feel about that. I mean, how you feel about Carolina and Tampa Bay versus us. I mean, that's
yeah. I got no answer for that, bro. I got no answer for that, man.
Yeah, man. No, I mean, listen, I honestly think it is the truth. I really do. And with all that, being said, man, at the end of the day, you just saw me, Noah, Wolf wasn't able to make it. ATL Will wasn't able to make it. But man, we still held it down. We still had a good stream. We talked about this game, where we think it's going to go. Now, listen, it's time for our teams to go out and do what they know to do best, which is give each other absolute hell for 60 minutes on that football field.
Yes. It's going down, bro. That's all I can tell you.
It is the dirty South for a reason.
Hey, Rise Up Nation versus Who That Nation, I'm ready. I can't wait.
No, it's not Rise Up Nation, it's Dirty Bird Nation.
It's Dirty Bird Nation.
Listen, man, there
I got
Rise
you,
Up
man.
Nation, I'm sure exists, but it is really the Dirty Bird Nation.
Yep. Man, I can just think about the old Falcons, like when Prime was there. Um, well, one time they had Brett Favre over there, but he ended up in Green Bay. So, and mentioned Bobby A. Bear, he was over there for a short minute. And hey, but but the only thing that I like about the Falcons Rise Up ATL is when your boy Vic was quarterback. When your boy Vic, because that everybody was talking about Vic. Everybody.
Here's the one thing I don't think a lot of people know. Weren't Michael Vick and Aaron Brooks cousins?
Yep, they were.
And obviously, man, Aaron Brooks left the Saints. Michael Vick left a year later the Falcons. Drew Brees, Matt Ryan come in. And that whole... Let me honestly ask you, man, something that, just kind of... Where do you think the Saints would be right now? And it might not be something you want to talk about, and it's honestly a legit question. Where do you think the Saints would be right now if Drew Brees never came?
Oh man, there would be some deep shit right now if Breeze would at least stayed. But
Do you even
with the
think y'all would have
guys,
stayed in New Orleans, or y'all would have made the move to San Antonio?
I say they gonna stay. I still say they gonna stick around in New Orleans. I mean, I just don't see them leaving, going to San Antonio and build continue their franchise over there. I just don't see it happen. I just don't.
Hmm.
Nah.
I think, man, it's just, y'all, see, that's the thing, man, because it's not a lot of, and I even think that's the same case. Now, granted, Drew Brees came, in a different time, not just, such a chaotic time for the team, because Matt Ryan came in a chaotic time for the Falcons. Drew Brees came in a chaotic time for that entire region. And, the bottom line is, man, he's probably the reason that team is in New Orleans today.
Yep. That is
That's why I
correct.
say, man, it's both those guys. They really saved our franchises, from being in the absolute gutter for a decade.
Hmm.
Look at the Indianapolis Colts now. It's Andrew Luck retired, and maybe they think Richardson is the answer, but he's injured. He's shown to be injury prone. You don't know. At the end of the day, man, you don't know what you have in a franchise quarterback until they're gone.
Right.
So, yeah, man, that's really the thing is, man. And now, Carr you have there, but I don't think Carr's a long-term answer. We really don't know where we're going with quarterback. I've honestly said, man, the Falcons better hope Desmond Ridder goes and balls out these next 7 games and shows something that can be developed. Because, man, you don't know if... the best option would probably be, to go and trade up in the draft for a quarterback. But at the same time, man, if Ridder then develops, you have someone to work with, okay, but that all starts Sunday. This is going to be a big game for Ridder. Not in terms he has to go and win this game, but he has to look good in this game in general.
Right.
He has to look good in this game. He really has to look good pretty much in a lot of these games down the stretch. He can't be the reason why we're losing games.
I got you, man.
So, is there anything else you got about the Saints or this matchup? Or
Nope. I think, like you said, I think we've covered everything, my man.
we've covered more than everything. All right,
Got
man.
every.
So you say 24-21 Saints. I say 20-17 Falcons. The divide is there. And we'll see how it all turns out. We had a good talk tonight, man. Shout out to you, Jerry. Shout out to Noah. ATL Will, shout out to him. He couldn't make it. Shout out to Wolf. He couldn't make it. So I wrote solo for the Falcons end of things, but still held it down, man. Still had a nice conversation.
Yes, sir.
I will be back here. I probably won't do anything for really much of the rest of the week. So I'll be back here. obviously Sunday, I will be in the bins. And it's a big one Sunday. There's gonna be content from the
Yeah,
bins.
yeah. I remember you said you were gonna go to the game last time we talked. I think.
And then Sunday night, I'm home from the game. We're settled in. I'll be going live. And Jerry, I want you to come back on,
Hey,
regardless of what
bro.
the result is. Noah,
Hey,
if he
bro.
makes it,
Say no more, bro. I got you, bro. I got
Noah,
you.
if he makes it, want him to come back on. ATL
Hey,
World, hope he can come on.
hey.
Maybe Wolf can
Whether
come
hey,
on.
look. Whether the Saints win or lose, whether the Falcons win or lose, when you stream, I will be there. Say no more. I got you, man. I
Yeah,
got you.
man. Listen, that's how we roll here, man. That's how we roll. We're not gonna give up on our teams no matter what.
Yes,
But
sir.
damn
You
it,
stay
we
loyal,
better
bro.
win Sunday. We better win Sunday.
Yep.
For my
For
sanity,
you.
really. Because man, I want to give Saints fans hell going out of that stadium.
And I want to give Falcons fans more hell too.
Have you ever been to a Saints Falcons game?
I have, but it was like back in the it was like back in the late '90s. I
So
think it
it,
was
it
like
was
night.
like when we had Jamal Anderson and the Dirty Birds.
Still there? Hold on. Wait. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah. The last time I went to see the Saints play the Falcons in New Orleans was like '96.
Hmm.
I haven't. Yeah, and you know, and like you say, that rival is no joke.
And I'm sure '96. Do you remember? It was probably heated back then too.
Oh yeah. And I can't remember who that quarterback was, but I remember some of the players, like guys like Mario Base, he's a running back, and a few others of me, because I was just getting to know them.
Yeah,
So, me at a very young age, and to start at seventh grade in middle school, I had to learn. I had to learn.
yeah, man, yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to get to another game, man. Have you been to a game since then, or
Dude, the last game I went to was was 2019. It was a preseason game against the Vikings. Because I'm looking at one of the tickets on my wall when we went. And that's when I met Lance Moore. And he was in disguise. I didn't know who he was, behind that character. But when I kept looking at him, I said, that guy looked familiar. And that's who it was. That was Lance Moore in disguise because he works for WDSU in New Orleans and the Boot Crew Media YouTube channel. And I mean, the dude was just a good. That dude was just awesome, bro. That dude was just fucking awesome.
yeah, man, yeah. So
Because I'm
listen,
sure, Lance Moore as a player, I'm sure he gave y'all hell too. But the dude was he was just awesome.
um, look, man, this is a big game Sunday. Um,
Yes,
it's a must win for both teams. It's
yes.
for a division lead. It's
Mhm,
for the all-time series lead. Let's
mhm.
ride, baby.
Let's go.
Anything else you got to say?
No more to say. No more to say except see you Sunday. You have yourself a good time at the game. Whether your Falcons win or lose, have yourself a good old fashioned ass time, bruh.
And
Have
man,
yourself a
listen, I will,
ball,
man.
bruh.
I will.
I mean, and even look, even if you go live, I want you to yell your ass off. Yeah, let's go, let's go. But I know you're gonna be doing it. Let's go, baby, let's go.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, out there in full effect. I can hear you. I can hear you from a distance.
Yeah, man. Yeah. All right, man. Um, that's pretty much it. That's all we got. Thank you to everyone who came through. Sentinel, Kurto MVP. I don't know if that's J Dog or not, but BR, I saw you in there.
Yeah. Shouts out to the chat, man. Y'all.
Investigator.
Yeah. Shout out to BR. I mean, shouts out to everybody in the chat, man. Y'all kept this going, and we just talked about it, and y'all keep it going.
Yeah, it's all. Listen, I'll say this: it is always nice to see the chat. At least a few people popping in, just saying what's up. That is always nice. But
Hey, that's always good, showing that
yeah,
love,
man.
man.
Appreciate you guys for watching. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I hope you enjoy
Same
it with
to you,
your
brother.
families. We got 3 good games on Thanksgiving. We got a Black Friday game and Sunday, man, 1:00. You already know in the dirty South what the deal is.
It's going down at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and I can't wait. I can't wait. Let's go.
Can't wait, man. All right, man. We'll see you guys Sunday night. We plan to talk about this game. Until then, we'll see you guys in the next one.
All right, man. You be blessed, brother.
All right, man. Hey, Jerry.